Call this meeting to order. It is 6:36. Dr. Roach, please do the roll call.
Absolutely. Mr. Ann Berenson? Mr. Ann Berenson?
Here.
Okay. Mr. Farugi?
Yes, I'm here.
Ms. Francois?
Here.
Mr. Schmidt?
Here.
And Chairwoman Ford.
Here. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, my goodness. Okay. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 231 of the New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by giving notice to the Courier News, posting the agenda in the public lobby of this building 48 hours prior to this meeting. Delivery of this notice to the Franklin Township Clerk at least 48 hours prior to this meeting, and mailing notice to those persons properly requesting to be mailed notice. Properly requesting to be mailed notification of meetings at least 48 hours prior to this meeting. Could you all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, because I turned the volume down before.
Yes.
Is there a motion to open a meeting for public comments?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Seeing that there doesn't appear to be anyone here from the public, is there a motion to close the meeting for public comments?
So
Motion to
moved.
close.
Okay. Is there a second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion's carried. Okay. You all have a copy of the minutes. After review of the minutes, are there any questions or any changes to the minutes? With that said, is there a motion to accept the minutes as is?
Motion.
To accept as is.
Second.
Second? All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, the executive summary. Executive Director.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
Before you start, though, could everyone please mute themselves?
Okay, going over the project vendor status summary. Good news, our solar project, which I reinitiated this year, which is off to a very good start. We held a meeting on July 10th with representatives from Snyder Electric and their market representative. It was a very educational, formative meeting that was from our team. We had our operations foreman and our engineer, and we met with their team. Subsequent to that meeting, we did sign a letter of interest, and that letter will prompt Snyder Electric and the authorities' representatives to work together to perform an investigation of energy opportunities. From there, they'll explore grants, funding, savings, assets, etc. And I'll report to the board as we go along. There's no commitment or cost at this juncture, but more than likely, if they identify any opportunity, that would most certainly include like solar panels and stuff like that. It could also include assets or other recommendations at the pump stations as well as our campus here. High Bay Garage, we did receive certification from the DRCC. Approval was received. Somerset County Planning Board will be the next step, and we need to complete. That's the High Bay Garage. We received certification from the DRCC that it's been approved, and the Somerset County Planning Board will be our next step for their approval. And at some point in the future, CDM will need to complete a land survey of the easement we're giving them. And I believe tonight we're voting on a resolution amending CDM's services to include the land survey. Howard, is that correct?
I haven't submitted it to you yet, Joe, but I will. It's forthcoming for sure.
All right, very good. Thank you, Howard. So we're at the very tail end of this administrative delay of finishing up the High Bay Garage. Somerset Street Pump Station rehabilitation, which basically is completed. We did get the final NJDEP inspection, which we passed. And however, they do require an updated asset management plan to include this pump station. And the last time that was done was 2018 by CME. CME will update the asset management plan somewhere in early August. We will note that operations foreman has reported that we're now seeing only 1/3 of the I&I being received at the pump station as compared to the rates that were being received prior to the rehabilitation work commencing. So let me just stress that. So we're doing two projects at the same time in that area. One's a pump station. We're upgrading that, but we're also rehabilitating, resealing all those pipes. We are seeing the benefit of the rehabilitation where less water is getting into our system. Steve, you're saying we're seeing about 1/3 of the INA that we used to see?
Yeah, it's definitely lower. This past storm, we received 2.88 inches of rain, and we ran for approximately 15 hours. Prior to that, we'd see 24 to possibly 36 hours of runtime on the bypass.
Yeah, that's excellent news. And those numbers are just going to keep on getting better and better. So the cousin project to this is the Brookline Avenue rehabilitation of that collection system. I'm just going to overall note that everything's going smoothly and as expected, though the last month, the main to house progress has been going slower than we're comfortable with. And our team has been communicating with the vendor that they need to step it up at a little faster pace. Also, good news for the month. We are now beginning to receive more and more money from the federal grants being administered by the county and the township. So far for the county, we've received approximately $2.5 million. That's really great money. And from the town, we've only received $292,000 and change, but we still have $1.5 million that we expect to be receiving from them. Also great news, good news all the way around. Weston Canal Pump Station rebuild and move. The State Historic Preservation Office did declare that this project represents no encroachments, and the access license will proceed going forward towards closing. However, PSC&G had declared our appraisal from 2 years ago is too old and we need to update that appraisal with the appraiser. I did send him an email last week. I haven't heard nothing. I sent him another one today and it bounced back. So I have a little indication that the appraiser might not be with the firm anymore. So I have to contact the firm. And see what's going on, if they have to reassign it or I have to track down the appraiser from last year. But once that is all completed and we close on that easement, this project will go into full swing. So I'm going to note that maybe Commissioner Faruqi can get super involved with this project because it is going to be quite large and complex. Would love his expertise to be involved in it. All right.
I would love to join.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Commerce Street Drive, no real change, but we did change the anticipated construction start date again from August. Now it's been moved back to September. One of the reasons why we're moving it back to September is not that they can't start in August, but the delivery date of some supplies has been delayed. And instead of having them start in August and then stop again in October or November, we can just have them start in September, and then it'd be one continuous activity from the construction from the beginning to end with no break in between. So September 20, so next month will be the start date, and we anticipate everything going smoothly. Shirley Avenue Pump Station, documents have been executed. I believe, Dr. Roach, is there a resolution prepared for tonight for the board to vote on it?
There is.
This resolution is closing the transaction between the authority and the landowner that is selling us the easement for $15,000. Once the resolution is voted on, we could execute that $15,000 check to the owner and then begin recording the new easement. That concludes my executive summary of the vendors and projects. I'll move on to executive director's report. For the month of ending as of July 31st, revenue received and checks deposited is $1,165,631.62. Year-to-date collected is $1,753,577.50. We do have an open balance due of non-metered billing of $6,148,145.70. Penalties generated for the month of July are $10,895.75, which is below average. For expenses as of June 30th, which, by the way, that should be unremarkable because June is our first month of the fiscal cycle. And those expenditures are $235,625.16. And of course, year to date would be the exact same amount, being the first month. However, I will note that our operating expenses for this month's approval is $2 million and change more than that, and that's simply because of the timing of the effective date of the report and the amount of checks we got to go out this month, and that is mostly due to a $2 million check we're sending to the Middlesex County Utilities Authority, and that's our quarterly estimated payment. Under cash, as of June 30th, unrestricted category, $1,509,550.99. Under restricted, we have $14,265,274.30. Under designated, we have $4,823,666.57, giving us a total cash net position of $20,598,491.86. Okay, under discussion items, there's only a few. Under the budget, we are at the very final stages. There's literally only 1.5 things left to be done for the budget, and that includes confirming 3 budget line items with myself, Dr. Roach, and the bookkeeping. And then the very final thing would be the financial analyst and the auditor to agree on numbers, and we put them in the form, and then we're going to disseminate them to the board members and present them at next month's meeting. Also, at that time, we'll know if it's suggested or not to raise rates or keep them the same or lower them. All projects are green and going forward, and it is remarkably noted that we have added a project to the project board this month, and that is our solar energy initiative project. Under land acquisition, PSE&G and Shirley Avenue land acquisitions moving forward on both of them. Again, solar initiative, the month of August, the investigation will begin. Under rules, rates, and regulations, that is going really good. We're finally getting the opportunity now to utilize the new rules, rates, and regs that we updated over the last 3 years. And we are sending out letters to every single privately owned collection system in town. Those are the condos, the apartments, all those developments that collect sewer and then send it to us. They're getting a letter that basically explains we have new rules, rates, and regs, and that if they have a licensed operator, they have to tell us and report that to us. But in either case, we are holding almost a town hall for us to explain to all of them what their responsibilities and obligations are to us. Should they be absent or non-compliant or recalcitrant, now the rules, rates, and regs allow us to act on behalf of the ratepayers and protecting their interests and assets. So we sent that out. We sent those letters out today, regular and certified mail, both. And Brunswick. I did speak to the new attorney for city of New Brunswick, asked him what the status of the new agreement is, and he couldn't recollect all the details, so he said he would get back to me. But we did receive an email from the New Brunswick's engineer, who was basically somewhat startling to me, which prompted me to call their attorney because I just wasn't comfortable with what he had to say in that email. All projects are moving forward. Today, under standard resolutions, all resolutions are applicable with the exception of there is no general fund resolution and no North Track resolution. And we have under additional resolutions, we have 4. One is the execution of a deed easement for Shirley Avenue that we mentioned already. Another one is authorizing the award of contract for Coaster Associates for purchasing 2 pumps. Another resolution is authorizing an agreement with CME to perform the flood hazard area and freshwater wetlands permit acquisition phase services. Woo! That's a lot of words in one row. It's authorizing CME to do this work at the Weston Canal pump station for the flood hazard area and freshwater wetlands permit acquisition phase of services for Western Canal Road Pump Station. The last and fourth resolution is authorizing the execution of a contract modification with National Water Main Cleaning Company for the Brookline Watershed Wastewater Collection System Rehabilitation Project. So, if you recall, in the Brookline project, we identified a sewer line that had been lined, and that lining was defective and or damaged. It happens to be right at the same location that the township's water line main work was done, and we see deterioration of the brand new pavement there that is deteriorating all the way down the street. So we have concluded, at a minimum, the township's vendor who did the water line, did the backfill and the compaction and then the paving, somewhere in their work was defective, and that is why the soil is settling and then the road's cracking and it's no good. That's right around the area that we have 47 feet of our line that needs to be redone. So we're assuming that we're going to pay for it and have all that work done to our line, and we're going to do that work through National Water Main, who's already out there doing work for us. So basically, National Water Main is going to hire the subcontractor to repair that line and do it under this project's expenses. However, those expenses may go up depending on what they find in that trench when they're repairing it, and that if there's extra work to be done, it may be directly that of the township or it may not be. We don't know. We are coordinating with the township, so when they start digging that trench to do our repair work, the township will have their own DPW inspector on site to also inspect alongside our inspector. If there's some sort of disagreement or conflict between the two, then they'll get me involved, I'll get the council involved, and we'll figure it out at the time. I'll note that the Edmunds migration, the financial platform, which includes one half is the finance side of it, and the other half is the utility building. They are going forward smoothly as expected. We still have a go live date for the second half somewhere in the fall of 2025. And thereafter, we'll have an audit of the new system versus the old system. So hold on, let me just conclude. I think that concludes my report. Yes, Chairwoman, that concludes my reporting.
Thank you very much. Now for committee reports. Strike that. Negotiation and personnel report.
I don't believe we have anything to report on that, right, Rom?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Municipal liaison.
Nothing to report.
Construction.
Nothing at my end.
Okay. Safety. I don't believe there were any safety issues. Is that correct?
No increase for the month,
I would
Chairwoman.
like to make a recommendation going forward that you call for committee reports, and if anybody has one, they can speak up and say they have one to amend the process of the agenda. Is that possible?
Absolutely. So noted. Now we're going to the resolutions. All the items below regarding the consent agenda, all the items below are considered to be of a routine nature, thereby requiring one motion and 1 second for all items. If any member wishes to remove an item from the consent agenda, Please advise me at this time which resolutions need to be handled separately, and they will be addressed and voted on separately. Resolution number 1 is the payroll account, $208,516.62. Resolution number 2 is the operating expense account, $2,223,869.78. Renewal and replacement resolution number 3, $267,831.49. And the escrow account resolution number 4, $11,593.50. Is there a motion to accept the resolution as is?
It's motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Now for the additional resolutions, resolution number 5, the resolution authorizing the execution of a deed of easement agreement with the owner of real property located at 9 Shirley Avenue, Somerset, New Jersey, for the Shirley Avenue Pump Station Expansion Project. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution?
Motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 6, resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Coaster Associates Incorporated for the purchase of 2 Cornell Model 10 NHTA-VC18DB vertical coupled solids handling pumps or their equivalent. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
Motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
All
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 7, resolution authorizing the authority to execute an agreement with CME Associates Incorporated to perform flood hazardous area and freshwater wetlands permit acquisition phase services for the Western Canal Road Pump Station project. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 8, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract modification with National Water Main Cleaning Company for the Brookline Watershed Wastewater Collection System Rehabilitation Project. Is there a motion to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The resolution is adopted. Is there a need to go into executive session, Mr. Hack? No, you're muted, sir.
Sorry, no, there is not, Chairwoman.
There's a good chance, Chairwoman, next month we'll talk about personnel stuff and everything being positive and stuff. But we're gonna have to start advertising positions and stuff like that.
Okay. All right, well, with that said, is there a motion to close the meeting? Is there a motion to
Motion to
adjourn?
close the
Motion.
meeting. Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Good evening, everybody.